Hey guys, Kenny here. Stay cool and relax to the movies. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Kenny here. I'm here to say that today is 20 years of me uploading to YouTube. October 2005 was when I first discovered YouTube, and so October 2025 was 20 years since I first discovered this website. And I've seen this website go through many ups and downs in that time. Many decisions they made in that time have been very bad for the site. Many different channel layout changes, some good, but most functioned and looked extremely bad. I have been made many channels through the years. Many were terminated because of copyright strikes and community guidelines violations. Only one was terminated because of community guidelines violations October 7th, 2023. I have had many different channel names. The first channel name I ever had was KAR Dallas TX, and I will put a link in the description showing what that looked like. So you all can see what my early time with YouTube was like, and that was from October 1st, 2006 to April 1st, 2006 to October 2007, September, October 2007. Videos I uploaded during the early years of me using YouTube were mainly videos I edited for fun using movie and TV footage with music from April 1st, 2006 to July 2009. My first video I ever uploaded showing myself was in 2007 when I did a movie review of the 2007 Transformers film, that first one. I began uploading videos showing myself a lot of the time in July 2009, mainly because of a feud I started on YouTube with another user named Effrey. His channels were Sierra 12 and Sierra 12 is here to stay. So Sierra 12 is what it was, even though it was spelled kind of strange. I regret starting that problem because I had to deal with that along with another feud for over a year. I remember I almost wanted to quit YouTube during that year and a half. I am glad that I decided to stay with it. January 2011 is when it finally got better for me and those problems stopped. I had a strange problem that I began dealing with in 2010 uh, with a hacker and stalker named called Mr. Wonderful Kenny, also called the original help dude, who caused a lot of trouble for me by bothering others that already did not like me and harass them, making them think it was me doing that. That was weird and frustrating to deal with. That was a weird and frustrating problem to deal with. And it finally stopped in April 2011. After all that ended, it finally got better for me with YouTube, and I enjoyed uploading and using the site again. I still have had channels be terminated or me closing them, most recently to 2024. I have enjoyed using YouTube, even through the issues and problems I have dealt with, and I'm going to put playlists in the description also going through my history with YouTube and the problems I had to deal with that lasted for over a year from July 2009 to April 2011. I want to uh, I appreciate and thank everyone who has viewed and watched my channels and videos through the years. I adore and cherish all of you. I think of all of you as friends to me, and I'll put my channels in the description. And that thing, what I mentioned about the Effie feud, all that started was because thought me and him had become friends, and I was wanting to be nice to him, and as a friend I said I love him, and then he took that the wrong way, thinking I was gay, and then he blocked me because of that, and I think I should not have done this, and I seriously apologize for doing this. I created a bunch of different channels and accounts trying to get through to him to understand why he had blocked me in the first place. And I did it so much that it was bothering and frustrating him to the point where he felt like he wanted to quit YouTube. And that made friends of his who were close to him, Matt, Mike, Matt Rambleraff, and Mike OCP Communications. Well, Matt Rambleraff, 4 Live, the number 4 at the time, Rambleraff, and Mike was OCP 0004, and other friends that Effie also had made that made them all start hating me and turn against me. And they made videos also. They were defending Effie, which I completely understand, and I think that was a good thing. I was bothering him only because I was trying to figure out why he had blocked me. He never did tell me, and I regret doing that. I made him leave and quit YouTube the first time. And then at some point, I think it was in later in 2009 or 2010, he did return, but it was a channel Sierra 12 is here to stay, and he had all the videos private because of what I did to him, and he would not let anyone else watch them unless they were friended to him when YouTube had that feature of add as friend. And I never was able to view videos of his unless I used a separate channel that none of them knew about and he did not know about. Then I could actually watch them. And yeah, so that whole feud and problem, I wish that never started. And then there was a hate group made about Effie for him blocking others because they were either associated or friends with me. And I had nothing to do with that hate group at all. And then, because of what was going on with that, he left and quit YouTube, and that was in 2010. And then, ever since then, he has never used YouTube again, and that has been 16 years. And I regret starting that whole thing and making his friends hate me because of it. And along with that, I think in 2010, I had another feud going on, well, actually 2 going on at the same time with his YouTuber Will Cyborg Ninja, and his channel name was Cyborg Ninja. And me and him had gotten along and had become friends at first, and then when I kept letting him know that I was still being bothered, or not being bothered, but that feud with Effie was still bothering me. It was getting annoying to him where he started hating me because of that, and then he turned against me and blocked me, and I regret how I treated him during that, because he also made a hate group of people who did not like me back when YouTube had the feature of people being able to make groups. He made a hate group about me, trying to get me banned from YouTube, and there was a bunch of people that joined that because they kept wanting to try and get me banned. And I really wish that had never started, because it was all because of that started all because I was still up, upset about that whole Effie feud, and let him know about it, and then he was getting annoyed by it, and then that was what made him start hating me, because I did a similar thing with him, and I also was trying to friend other people that he was friends with as well, and in a group called the Night Vigilantes, and it that that exploded and became a whole big thing, and he kept asking me to leave his friends alone and not bother them anymore. Because I remember at one point he was saying in the video that he might get the police to come after me if I didn't drop that and not make any more text posts or upload any more videos about it. And if I reported a certain video, he would have reported me to the police. Uh, I really hated having to go through that. And along with Will, there was another person, Preston, who he went through many different channels. His current one is Wrestling Paradise DX, and at the time it was Turbo Ranger 16. And then Turbo Ranger 16 returns. I think he had one, Turbo Ranger 16 Forever. And then there was the one that was Armored Iron Man, which really was the one that he really started hating me. And now, and what that was is there was this guy who was a hacker and a stalker called Mr. Wonderful Kenny, and his channel, the original Help Dude, and he was going around to people that Preston knows and annoying and bothering them and Preston thought it was me who was doing that when it was that other person, and that I wish that had never happened. And at some point, I think it was in January 2011, Preston and me finally were able to get that question stopped, and we finally started getting along in that month. So yeah, I'm glad for that. Me and him have been friends in a way for ever since. And but there was a time that when even Preston wanted me to not uh, uh, talk with his friends, to be trying to be connected with them and add them as friends, which I do no understand that it was me who was doing that part. But as far as annoying and frustrating them, that was not me. And then it was that I was Will and his friends in the Night Vigilantes. I kept asking over and over to join that group, but he never would let me join the group. So Those are two feuds and problems I regret starting in a way, and I actually do regret starting those. And then I'll look back to the Every feud. There was a channel called what was it? The Old School Losers Club, OSLCX, and I was also being causing trouble with the people there in that group, and that also made them uh, hate me and started seeing me hate comments because of what I was doing and how I was treating Effrey. And I remember I regretted and tried to apologize for how I treated Effrey, Will, and Preston. Because there was this weird thing that I remember saying that there was this hoax, a stupid hoax, where I said that Effrey had shot Preston, which that never happened, and that made things even worse. And I remember there was this problem that Preston was trying to go through. I mean, not trying, but going through, and I was wanting to support him, trying to, but he never let me support him during the time when me and him had a feud and a problem with each other. And I was 27 at that time. Yeah, 27. And, or 28 actually. 28. And I was not, that was not good. This is a long part of my YouTube history, and one that I think I should mention, because this is part of my history with YouTube, and it's a history that I am not proud of, and I regret starting all three of those feuds, because it was me who actually started those, and I apologize, and I regret doing that. And I can upload other videos explaining more about what those three feuds were about. And also, there was this guy and then another feud that I had with two people. There was Mike of Mike's Crypt, and then this friend of his. I forget who the woman's name is, and what her channel name is. But at first, me and that Mike's Crypt, were getting along very well, and then I wanted to add his friend, that woman. I forget her channel name, and I wanted to add her as a friend, and then for some reason she did not accept it, and I remember I kept messaging Mike, trying to message her about it, and I was doing it so much that I was annoying and bothering them, and they started disliking and hating me too. Not sending hate comments, but they kept wanting me to have them, or me leave them alone, and I kept making that go on, and I regret doing that, and I apologize for that also, because Mike of Mike's Crypt, he ended up closing that channel, Mike's Crypt, and then that woman, that friend of his, I forget her channel name, she also closed her channel after that, and she has not returned to a YouTube since then. And unless she has, and I do not know it, I forget her what her original channel name was. And then sometime later, I remember Mike had a channel called Inside the Secret Box, and I unknowingly started that feud up again with him. I think the add his friend thing was removed as a feature, but I still wanted to try and connect with him. and he still did not like me. He used that channel for a while, and then when I messaged him, he still did not like me. And after that, he closed that channel, and he has not used YouTube again since. I the I regret badly what all those bad things that I did, and I apologize for every single one of them. And then there was a person who ended up becoming a very close friend of mine, John Dorn, John Paul Prime, John Dorn one, John Dorn one, Jonathan Paul Prime, and I think those are the main ones he had. I never had a feud with him, but I remember I had this weird thing going on where I think it was I was saying that he was either a hacker or a stalker, or no, he was the one who shot Preston, but he never did that. That was fake, and I regret, and I apologize, and I regret that, because that hacker and stalker, Mr. Wonderful Kenny, the original Hope Dude, had told me that, and it was a bogus thing. And first, John Dorn luckily never disliked me and hated me because of that, but that was a bad thing that I started, all because of that hacker and stalker, and I wish I had not had that going, and so many things that I regret during that time, that I think I've mentioned all of them. And I do remember that I did try to apologize for the how I treated Effrey, Will, and Preston during that time, but it still could. Other than Preston, the Effrey and Will, it did no good. Because I tried to be a good person during that time, but it still did not turn out good, and I regret all of those feuds and problems that I ended up starting. And I remember I did really want to completely quit YouTube during 2010 because of the hate group, and those three feuds I dealt with for a year and a half, from July 2009 to all through 2010, and that was mainly when it was, and it was awful. I remember I did want to completely quit using YouTube during that time, but I am glad I did not stop. And if Effrey does ever see this, I do apologize, and I regret what I did and how I treated you. I know it was all started because of me, and I wish I never did that. I was 27 at the time, and probably not a very mature person in my mind, and I took it too far, and I wish I never did that. And along saying, making Matt and Mike despise and hate me because of that, and along with your other friends, I wish I had never done that and treated all of you that badly, and because I know I did. But I'm glad that years later I feel better now that I've talked about it and got that all out. And this was a long part of my history, but I feel like it needed to be said. And back to when I started YouTube. I was 24 when I first made my channel KAR Dallas TX, and for 3.5 years up until July 2009, it was great. I enjoyed it immensely. Many were commenting and how they enjoyed my video montages, music videos, and tributes I had uploaded, and they were greatly enjoying them. And then things all started going to pot in July 2009, and as I said, that was when I mainly started recording videos showing myself a lot of the time because of what was going on back then uh, with that feud. And it's just something I wish I had never started, along with Will and Preston. I'm glad that Preston and me has he let it go, and I've been a good friend of his since. We haven't really chatted since about 2013, but I know he is better with me. And but Will, I wish me and him were able to get along, but we probably never will because of what was going on. And after that whole feud, and which finally ended in April 2011 after that hacker and stalker, he also had me uh, upload really embarrassing videos, some of which I have uploaded. One I had a good time in doing, but it was I remember he had hacked someone's channel who was a friend of mine, and he closed that channel. So he was a hacker and a stalker because he stalked me for a while. And then after April 2011, that finally ended. That never happened again, and I'm so glad it did. I have finally been able to enjoy and use YouTube for the past 15 years since then. And then starting in 2011, when it comes to July 2009, or no, it was September 2009, that was when I got back to doing movie reviews. And then I have enjoyed doing that greatly. And for 10, 11, 12, 13, for about 4 years, I was doing and recording movie reviews pretty regularly, and I greatly enjoyed it. 2011 was the best year I ever had recording videos, not only movie reviews but other random videos, and I did that even during the 4 years from July 2009 to probably April 2013, and it is I that for that time and doing those videos, when it did not involve feuds and problems, I enjoyed recording videos, and I always had enjoyed it. I enjoyed it during when I did not have to talk about something that had to do with a feud or a problem. And movie reviews and other videos that I talked about where I talked about my movie ticket collection and different memorabilia some that I have, but a lot of it I no longer have anymore. Memorabilia from high school, college, when I was a t-ball, baseball player, and a lot of that I do not have anymore. In fact, most of it I do not have anymore. And so when recording movie reviews and other random videos. I have greatly enjoyed it, and it is something that I have has always given me great joy. And I think it was in September 2009 when I made my first blog, awesomemoviework.blogspot.com. And now I have had that for this year, I've had that for 17 years, and I began uploading to it in I think it was March 2010, and pretty regularly, and or not, and not embedding videos to it regularly, and that is something I have been greatly happy and proud of. I greatly think that is one of the best things I've ever made and created on the internet. And so I still, even after April 2013, I've still used YouTube and not really uploaded any videos of me much. But even into 2014 I did, but after 2014 I did not upload any videos of me until about sometime in 2019 when I recorded a new review of the 2009 film A Christmas Carol, the Jim Carrey film, and that was with the new iMac I had at the time, and not because I didn't want to. The 2011 iMac I had taken the glass screen cover off, and I think it was in February 2015, and then I somehow screwed up the camera, misaligned it, and it permanently stayed that way ever since. And whenever I turned on the camera, I saw a black or dark shadow because of the camera being misaligned. It showed the right side where on the it was really where the camera it was misaligned permanently to the left, but when you see when I saw it in the camera view showing me, it was a dark shadow. I think it was always on the right side. I saw that dark shadow, and for 4 years I never recorded any videos of myself until 2000, I think 2019. I think that was when it was, and with A Christmas Carol, and I've slowly but surely and steadily been getting back into doing and recording videos of myself, movie reviews or whatever else I want to talk about during that time, and starting then. And October 2007, October 7th, 2023, that was when I had a channel that was terminated because of community guidelines violations, and I was able to get it reinstated. But ever since then, I have had to deal with that constantly following me to different channels. Nothing I did wrong, but I have not been able to have advanced features enabled because of that, and it always shows as disabled because of the previous term suspension I had, and that still follows me, and I'm able to get the two before above that enabled. The what was it, like the beginning features or beginner features, something like that, then intermediate, and but I have a very difficult time trying to get advanced features enabled, and but uh, it's still, other than that, I still have enjoyed using YouTube. It has been a wonderful experience, and I'm I'm glad that for the friends that I made through the years, and some I still try to keep in contact with all these years later. From some, I think I'm able to still uh, keep in contact with her since 2006, but a lot of them from 2009, 2008, 2009 are ones that I'm able to still be in contact with, and I, but I still am so uh, sorry that I had started all those feuds with Effie, Will, Preston, Matt, Mike, and then Mike of Mike's Crypt, and then that woman, I forget her channel name. I started a feud with her, and because of that, those two people, Effie, that Mike's Crypt, and then that woman, they left YouTube completely, and I have not returned again since. So I apologize for doing all that and causing all that. For even when I had the hacker and stalker causing problems for others when I was not even doing anything. And so I do like YouTube. I have always, I greatly enjoy uploading to it. It is something that I think, but also as an archive for older videos of mine, because I like watching them when I say if I'm when I'm out riding the bus or visiting with someone or going out somewhere with a friend of mine. I like watching older videos of mine, and it's so that is what makes me think of YouTube as an archive as well. But I wish that the people that despise and do not like me and hate me, at the time they did, now they do not really care about uh, about it, and they said they do not despise or hate me anymore, but they do not want anything to do with me anymore. I wish we could still get along and be friends, but if you never want to, I completely understand. And I think that that covers pretty much everything I can think of with my history with YouTube and how long I have been uploading to it. And other than problems, not only with feuds, but YouTube itself, with them terminating channels of mine, mainly because of copyright strikes very early on. Not much anymore. That rarely ever happens now. Now, uh, the last time a channel of mine was was terminated was October 7th, 2023, but I was able to get that reinstated. The channel I had before that, which I had from 2013 to then it was terminated in 2019, and that was also a community guidelines violation. Uh, that one I was never able to get reinstated. I kept uh, asking YouTube supporter, Team YouTube, Twitter, X, but they could not do anything. So that channel I lost forever. And other than though many of the feuds and problems I've had to deal with, I still have greatly enjoyed YouTube, and I'm glad and grateful for the new friends I have made over the years since April 2011. I I appreciate all of you, and I think of all of you as a friend. And I like getting along with everyone, but I do not try to be a villain. But I know during those feuds, especially the one with Effrey, I was a villain because I did start that at first. And then the second time, I had nothing to do with it. In a way, I probably did, but it was not me who started that hate group. And then that was what made Effrey quit YouTube, and he has not been back since. And there was that other YouTuber, Mr. Black. Mr. Black's movie reviews during that time. He was a big helper and supporter of me, and it was during that time when me and him became very close friends, along with me and John Dorn. And I miss Mr. Black a lot. That was why I made a channel solely dedicated to videos of his that I was able to download and save. There are many videos I have uploaded, or actually, well, maybe not many, but certainly a few I have uploaded that had not been seen until I had uploaded them. One I know is Vacancy. That was a major one that had not been seen for a long time, from 2011 to when I uploaded it in 2015. And so I miss him, but I'm glad I made a channel up for videos of his, of those movie reviews and other videos he did with those channels, and then the Real Weekly News, because that one is a channel that was terminated in 2021 at some point. And I made it a channel, I think, in December 2021, and then at some point, I think in 2023, I closed it because it was not getting many subscribers and views. And so in 2024, I made a new channel for those videos, and now I am leaving those up, even though I'm not going to close that one. Even if it does not get many subscribers or views, I'm not getting rid of that channel again. And so good. And I have greatly enjoyed using YouTube through the years, even in the past few years. This is, well, from April 2011 to now, it has been great. And even from April 1st, 2006 to July 2009, that was wonderful, with how and I enjoyed using YouTube then. And then April 2011, that was when it finally started getting back to being a wonderful experience. And I've so enjoyed this site. I always have, and I'm gonna never stop using YouTube. And I have not had any feuds or problems since 2010 or into 2011, April 2011. Thank God. I did not want to deal with that again, and I am glad that nothing like that has been happening again. And I appreciate all of you, and I think of everyone here as a friend, even the ones that despised and hated me during that time. And there was this other person, no, not a feud, I was trying to help and support her. It was Lori Mad Puppet Death, who is now uh, uh, Mad Puppet Death at the time, and she made a video talking about MJ Kelly of Cool Duder, where he had attempted to do something really bad to her, and she kept saying that she did not want him to do that. And when I uploaded that video of trying to help and support her, that backfired on me greatly, because that was still during the time when people despised and hated me, and those people left really terrible and nasty and terrible comments to me, mainly saying me of stay out of it and do not do anything about this. Leave it alone. So then I remember I recorded a video saying I apologize for that video, and then another one where I regretted involving myself in that problem that she was dealing with in the first place. But I still think that was a terrible thing she was having to go through. And but me and her haven't really talked since then, but I know that she appreciated it when I was wanting and trying and wanting to help and support her during that time. And so the YouTuber John Dorn, who the last channel he had was John Paul Prime, and then Jonathan Paul Dorn, John Paul Dorn, and John Dorn 1. I think the last one he had was John Paul Prime. Me and him were friends for a long time, from sometime in 2010 all the way to when he seems to have completely stopped using YouTube in December 2013, I think it was. Not because of me. He completely stopped using YouTube, and he has not returned again. And he lives in Florida. So all these years, I have wondered how he has been doing, if he is okay, because since the many floods and hurricanes have hit Florida since then, and I hope he is still alive, because he has not been using social media at all since then. And he did for a short time have a Facebook, but then he closed that. And so I hope he is doing good, doing okay, and he is still alive after all the floods and hurricanes. So if you're out there, John Dorn, I never got to know his last name. I remember I asked what his last name is, but he never actually wanted to really tell me. And it's I hope you're doing good wherever you are. And then there was a YouTuber Mitzi DeMarco. Me and her never had a problem with each other. She stopped using YouTube and social media. Well, she has a Facebook now, but I think she wants to keep away, not have anything to do with anyone that she knew from YouTube. So she has no YouTube channel as far as I know. And I remember, I think I wanted to know what her real last name was, but she never did feel comfortable telling me, which I completely understand that. And me and her were friends for several years, and I wish her well. I hope she is doing good with her family situation. If you all remember old videos of hers, she was not in a good family situation at all. And I hope you're doing good where you are in your life, Mitzi. I really hope you're doing well. And what else? That might be all. As for so now, I think that's all I have to say about my history with YouTube and all the people that I've known through the years, and some that I am still in. I'm still able to keep in contact with from to either a lot are not using the social media or YouTube from 2006 to now. There are some, but not many. Most of them are from around 2009, 2008, 2009, and they still use either social media in some way or YouTube in some way. So I am glad that I am still able to keep in contact with many of you. So click subscribe up here on my channel or down here if you're watching the video by itself. Yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. Stay cool and roll out to the movies. Bye.